Yo, back once again with another movie review. Man, this is like the 10 millionth review that I've recorded that I haven't uploaded, or I should say I will upload. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of videos in the stash that I just haven't gotten around to uploading somewhere, but this will be uploaded in the near future. But yeah, this review is gonna be for Rian Johnson's written and directed movie Knives Out. Yeah, he's every Star Wars fan's arch nemesis, I guess. He definitely knows how to piss them off, man. But yeah, I just got back like 5 minutes ago from seeing this film, and I'm gonna just backtrack a little bit. Now, when I saw the trailers for this film, I wasn't really expecting much. It looked kind of like awkward. It kind of looked like a murder mystery Clue type of film. So it did look a little bit intriguing to me, but still I was just like, I don't know, man. And I've seen the trailer a bunch of times, and it was just like, man, this looks pretty. It looks a little bit interesting, but I just don't know. It could go either way. And after seeing it, man, wow, like this movie is freaking great. Like I loved it. Like this, man, oh wow. I was not expecting it. I was not expecting going out of this movie like really enjoying the film, but man, I gotta say I really love this film. I should put it up there like in my top 10. But like my top 10 is already stacked with other movies that I love. But I gotta put this as like an honorable mention, because like it's like Rian Johnson, man, he's a good director. Like no matter what people say about, you know, what he did with The Last Jedi and stuff, and you know, a lot of that criticism is granted, like I understand. But I mean, just going back to what I felt about The Last Jedi, I thought it was decent. But then again, I'm not really a big Star Wars fan like that. So I'm just more of like a casual. I like Star Wars, but I'm more of like a casual fan. I'm not like a Star Wars fanboy or anything like that. But I do understand why, you know, Star Wars fans really hate The Last Jedi. And it really divided the Star Wars community. But that aside, I still thought it was a decent film. I didn't think it was as bad as what everybody made it seem. Now, the thing that I liked about The Last Jedi was it took a lot of risk. Like, he did a lot of things in that film that kind of shook things up. But, you know, when you kind of think, you know, to the Star Wars fan perspective, and you look back at it, some of the decisions didn't really make no sense, because The Force Awakens really set up a lot of big plot points, and Rian Johnson just shot one of them down. So it was just like, okay, who is Snoke? Snoke gets killed. You know, who is Rey's parents? Rey's parents is just some nobodies. You know what I mean? It's that. Like, he just shot everything that J.J. Abrams set up in the previous film. And I understand why that film is so hated now. But that aside, this film is freaking great. Like, it's a pretty long movie. It's over 2 hours long. I think it clocks out at like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it is a pretty long movie. And it, you know, I don't think it starts out like slow or anything like that, but it definitely starts out, so some people may consider like a little bit on the slow end in the beginning, but it definitely picks up like in the middle and definitely towards the end. It's like, it had me on the edge of my seat. Like, that's how crazy it gotten, you know what I mean? I don't want to give too much away, because, you know, it is about a murder of one of the characters in the film, and like I said, I don't want to give too much away, so it is not going to be like a long review or anything like that. It's just like my quick thoughts, and I'm just surprised at how good it was. Like I like the cast was great. Daniel Craig's character as the he plays the private investigator in the film. When he first popped up, he has like a weird like southern accent, and in the very beginning I'm like, man, this accent is so jarring, man, because I'm used to seeing Daniel Craig as James Bond, you know, like the smooth kind of like, you know, 007 agent, but like him, you know, being this like Southern private investigator and with that accent, it took me off. Like, man, I couldn't really get used to it in the very beginning, but then as the film progressed, it did warm up to me. So I got used to his accent like as the film progressed on. But I think a lot of people are probably going to be taken aback by his accent when they first hear it. I don't even think he spoke in the trailer. I'm not too sure. I don't remember, but when he first pops up in the movie and you hear him speak, you're just gonna be like, oh, like what is that? What kind of Southern accent is that? But to me, like I've gotten used to it as the movie progressed on. Like I said, I really liked his character, and the other guy, I forgot his name, but he was in Get Out. He's in Childish Gambino's TV series Atlanta. Like, he's a really good actor. He was also in Death Note, which pains me to say, because if you know about Death Note, the movie, yeah, let's not get there. But he is a really good actor. He played a really good part in this. He played the detective in the movie trying to figure out this murder. And, well, it's not really a murder. That's why I don't want to delve in too much into that, because I want you guys, whoever's watching this review, I want you to see this film, man, because, man, it's good. And yeah, he plays a detective. Like, his role, he knocked it out the park. The whole cast, man, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Chris Evans, Captain America. It's funny to see him in this, and we're just so used to seeing him in Avengers whooping ass and taking names, and now he's in this film. But he did a really good job in this too. I don't really know the other actors in this film. I just know those. But yeah, he really did a good job. You know, the whole cast, I mean, did a really good job. Like, everybody just did their thing, and like all the characters I really liked. One of the main characters in the film, who's like a Spanish caretaker, she did a really good part playing her role. Like I said, the acting was great. The plot of itself, it had me on the edge of my seat. I was just like, wait, what is gonna happen next? Like, it was just so many twists and turns, and I like movies like that. Like, it starts out like as a mystery, and as it progresses on, like, you just see bits and pieces here and there. And it just develops over time. It just develops. And then once the whole thing is revealed, you're just like, oh my God, like, wow. So this definitely, like, you think that it's going one way, but then, like, when it happens, you're just like, you hear the whole thing, just like how it plotted out, how it came to be. You're just like, wow, this was like a twist. You know what I mean? It's, like I said, the whole idea behind this murder, whatever, you think is kind of like straightforward. You think you kind of know who did it, but then it's like towards the end, yeah, some of the same people are involved, but how it was done, you're just like, wow, I didn't know like this. And like when they put the pieces all together, it's just, man, you know, I think that's what I loved about it the most. It like slowly developed. Like, you seen the bits and pieces, and then once it's all revealed in the end, you're just like, man, that was an elaborate plan, man. That was like crazy. It's like a big twisted web. They even mentioned that in the movie, like, it's a big twisted web, and you just had to connect the dots. And man, like, wow. I will say it does get a little bit political. I was surprised about this. Like, it does get a little bit political in the middle, about, like, you know, the whole immigrants and them coming over to America. It does kind of tap into that a little bit. So if you are one of those politically sensitive people, I don't know if that may offend you. I mean, these days in 2019, everybody's offended by everything. So just be on the lookout for that, man. And yeah, because it definitely surprised me. You know what I mean? So it has kind of like some political undertones to it a little bit. You know, if you reading it too much, you'd be like, yeah, this has like a lot of political undertones and blah. But it does have that. Like, you could definitely see it. But other than that, like I said, it's a great film. I like the twists and turns that this movie had. Like I said, it's definitely a slow burn. Some people may consider it a slow burn. I don't. You know, it just, I think it got, like, in the beginning, like the beginning of the movie and like towards the beginning of the middle, it's kind of like, you know, I guess you could say it dragged a little bit. Not for me, but maybe some people would consider it. But then, like, once it got to like the greater middle and then the final act, it was just like, it had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was just like, yo, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And like I said, once the whole big plan is revealed, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? That was some good writing, man. That was some good writing, and I gotta give kudos to Rian Johnson. I'm sorry, Star Wars fans, I gotta give kudos to Rian Johnson. Like, he put out a great film, and he also made Looper too, and I love Looper. So yeah, man, like, Rian Johnson, like, he, you know, he could direct, he could make good films, and this is a great one. I think it got a pretty high Rotten Tomatoes score. If anybody considers Rotten Tomatoes credible nowadays, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I look at it, but, you know, but it is what it is. But it did get a pretty high score on Rotten Tomatoes, like a 95 or 96%, and I think it's well deserved. Like, this film is freaking great. Like I said, I wouldn't put it in my top 10. It was just because the films that I have in my top 10 is just like, it holds a special place in my heart. But it's like right outside of that top 10, man. It's like, it's an honorable mention. No, without a shadow of a doubt, it's an honorable mention. And maybe it could be like my number 10 film, but the 10 others I have preceding that, I think I like it a little bit more than this film. But like I said, it's still in the discussion for like top 10 movies of this year. It's in my honorable mentions automatically, like, no doubt. You know, I think I am going to do a top 10 movies of 2019, like my top 10. And this is definitely, it's going to be in the honorable mentions, at least for me, because I do love this film. And I don't know if I'm going to, I'll probably see it again, but I don't know in theaters, you know, once it comes out on like DVD or whatever, I'll probably watch it down the road. But I was pleasantly surprised how good this film was, and I walked out, and it's funny too. That's the other thing. It's got some really funny jokes, man. I was definitely surprised at the jokes. Like, I was dying laughing at some of the jokes. So the jokes are really good. The dialogue is like really, really good. And yeah, like, I can't gloat about this film anymore. All I could say is just go out and see it, man. It's definitely a perfect film to see for the holidays. It came out, I think it came out yesterday or today, whatever, you know, but I definitely loved it, man. And you know, if you haven't seen it, definitely go out and see it. But that's going to be my review. I'm just going to wrap it up from here. I don't want to get into the plot or anything like that. I just wanted to just say, just go see this film, you know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm gonna just come to a close, and to my next one, man. I still don't have an outro, but hey, it is what it is.